too unethical.
Who is Kembiaderu saying the screenshot should not be sent to so that they can insult and gossip and chit-chat about the deputy governor freely?
The deputy governor.
At the top of that page, there is a post by the governor, right?
Yes.
What is she saying?
I've fought many and serious battles. Hiyo yao ni manyunyu. Nitawagaragaza kama kawaida.
So here is the governor announcing she will fight the DG and his people. Is this occurring before or after the event the Senate is being invited to believe was the trigger of these very unfortunate things?
Way before the event.
And there is a Diane there again replying. Who is Diane?
Diane, I believe, is a public member because I don't know what position he owns.
Let's go to 160. There is a post there by the governor herself. To the best of your knowledge, the number given there, is it the number of the governor?
Page?
160.
Oh yes, it's the governor's phone number.
What is the governor telling our junior officers in relation to our deputy governor after they have removed him from the group?
She states that CEO Mutia panga retreat ya sub-county and under the means to chome jeshi.
So the governor is recruiting what that means in our war with the deputy governor.
Yes.
Would you expect a governor familiar with the dignity expected of that office to do that?
It is not expected.
And what does this junior officer tell the governor after he's been told to mobilize the word that means to fight the deputy governor?
He states that I'm almost finalizing the plans, Excellency. Jeshi iko.
This governor who is organizing this jeshi and the governor we have seen on those videos at Makiri, did she appear to you like someone who is a humble, vulnerable victim? Some good, polite lady who is being harassed for no good cause? Is that the demeanor we saw on those videos?
I don't think so.
The deportment that we can design from these messages so far, is it the deportment of a dignified governor who is a victim of some political witch hunt? Did you see in these texts the tone, language, discernment of a dignified governor?
It isn't.
At page 162, the DG says, or rather the governor says, no, not the governor. Yes, it's the governor at the top. What does she say?
And DG mobilized fewer levy. Please
tell the Senate this is a message the governor has sent to a WhatsApp group that has junior officers, members of the public, about our own deputy governor. Can you please tell the Senate the translation of what she's saying?
The translation is on page 446 of volume 2, and maybe I can read the translation. Chief of Samutia writes, "People are with us, and I am so encouraged. Today, they used police to intimidate our jeshi. Their darkness won't and can't overcome our light." The governor responds, and DG mobilized fewer levy, which translates to, the deputy governor mobilized a few drunkards. Some people will have to find ways of defecating an avocado seed. You'll hear them.
Does this sound to you like a dignified message by a governor that, according to our Constitution and Chapter 6 laws, should bring honor and dignity both to our office and that of the DG?
It isn't now, especially considering that this was posted in our WhatsApp group with junior officers to the Deputy Governor and members of the public, of course.
Again, was this message before or after the event now offered as an explanation for what triggered these very unfortunate messages?
It was way before, there around May of 2023.
4 months before.
Yeah.
Let's go to page 163. There is a post there by a junior officer called Nkanata responding to the governor's very unfortunate message. What does Nkanata say?
He states, we few pakavona vaikone.
Again, what in your understanding was this junior officer now saying about the DG?
He is exclaiming and saying that they will suffer the consequences.
Let us go to Kabati, Kaende, page 165. What does the governor say in response to a junior officer called Ganata?
She states that I've fought many and serious battles, hiyo yao ni manyunyu, nitawagaragasa kama kawaida. Just relax and watch the space and concentrate in development, Kabati, Kaende. Back me with prayers and seeing deliverance of our Father. He has done it for me, and the promise high end is beautiful.
The governor in her defense says, quote unquote, she is the foremost peacemaker in Meru. Is this message consistent with the person who is the foremost peacemaker in Meru?
The tone and the language used doesn't depict someone who is a peacemaker.
Indeed, is any of the messages we have so far seen consistent with the governor who, in our own words, quote unquote, is the foremost peacemaker in Meru County?
They don't.
In page 166, what does Governor Mwangaza write in response to a junior officer called Kiambiatheru? Let's begin with Kiambiatheru. What does he say that the governor is responding to at the top of page 166?
Kiambiatheru states that our enemies misadvised he, very unfortunate for him, that is in reference to the deputy governor. And then the governor responds by stating, he thinks I'm the type of a person who can be scanned by a useless, childish, mannerless, mobilized group of people with threats. Kwanza nitafinya kieleweke.
Kwanza nitafinya kieleweke. Again, is this the language of a dignified, peaceful, peace-loving governor who is the victim of male chauvinism, who is the victim of Jurincheke, who is a victim? All these things she's saying, it wasn't me, I'm just a victim. Is this message consistent with such a humble, meek, and dignified governor?
It is inconsistent.
Let's go to page 167. What does the governor say, and what does our county secretary, junior officer, Dr. Kiambi Averu say? What does the governor say that Kiambi is responding to?
The governor states that they want him to recover what? Ntochio invested heavily, kuweka jina kwa ballot paper.
And what does
the message that Kiambiatheru is responded to is clearly captured in page 170.
Let's go to 170 where it is, okay.
From the governor, which states they want him to recover. First of all, the governor is responding to CCM Finance, one stated that very true, they are using him and when done, they will dump him. Very unfortunate. Then the governor states they want him to recover what? Tochio invested heavily. Kuweka jina kwa ballot paper is investment worth CEC Finance Shuari. And gratefulness is a curse. Results coming up soon. And then Ntochio is the former deputy governor. And then the county secretary responds on page 167 by saying, I am a witness. He contributed nothing to the campaigns, zero.
Would you consider it in order for the governor to be telling civil servants and junior officers that our deputy contributed nothing, even if we were to assume it is true, for argument's sake, would that be a proper message to be sent by a governor to a forum like this?
It's not in order.
Is this consistent with our chapter 6? Is this the type of messages governors should be acquitted by the Senate so that they can continue sending them?
It isn't consistent with chapter 6 of the Constitution.
Let's go to page 174. What is the governor telling Monica Cardono, who is a junior officer and specifically the CCM for finance?
The governor is telling the CCM Finance, the deputy apewe finance CCM laughable. Omchukue 2027 wapee yeye finance needs.
Let's go to 179. Let's go to 176 first. There is a post there by the governor. Can you read it to the Senate?
Our wajinga tuanyamazie till 2026. Mute completely, concentrate with the development. They want to divert us from our agenda and join the madness. Kama ni kunyorosha, tukamatie chini. Wapige nduru kabisa. I show you direction. Meanwhile, we are here 10 bila breaks.
Is this message consistent with the narrative of a peaceful governor who is a victim of some evil scheme to oust her out of office?
It is inconsistent.
Who are the people she was referring to as wajinga and whom she says nitawanyorosha na kuwakamatia chini?
Other leaders from the great county of Meru.
Should the governor be, for whatever reason, be sending such messages to junior officers and members of the public, even if we were to assume, for argument's sake, she has a valid grievance against other elected leaders?
She shouldn't.
Let's go to 179. What is the governor saying at the top there?
She states, I love this, mwanaume ni kazi, si kujivutavuta na kupigania tusimu tofitina. Kazi yonge mtakacha mvunguni. She leaves it at that, then she continues to state, the Bible says, lazy people should not eat and should be denied all benefits similar to eating. Ukisikia mtu analialia ni mzembe, wachana naye akufe.
Who are the people the governor is calling lazy and who should not eat in the context of this message?
It is in reference to the deputy governor.
It is in the reference. Now, again, Mr. Kawira, let's assume for argument's sake, because human beings disagree all the time, let's assume the governor has a genuine grievance against our deputy. Should she be sending this type of message in this type of group?
It is not expected of a person of the stature of a governor.
What does Barrio Nation say in response to the governor?
He says, extremely true, Your Excellency.
Let's go to page 180. No, I meant page 190, Mr. Speaker. What is the governor saying at page 190?
The governor says he is now claiming that Pesaya he is now claiming that Pesaya office of the governor to be split into two, Lafabu. Ojo akari ngoi morungu oengo atetumene in Jesus' mighty name. May Jehovah God, who sees the motive in every move, deal with our enemies speedily in Jesus' mighty name.
And Nchamba Mbethi there, who is the governor's chief of staff, what does Nchamba Mbethi say that the governor is responding to? It is at page 191.
He says, in my opinion, the issues going around the media are really fueled by the DG's silence. We all know well there was no planned trip to US that was cancelled. We all know there's no time that our DG's vehicle has ever been taken away. Our DG silence is really making my people to believe the fake rumors. If DG comes out and clears the air on the fake rumors, the current politics will be a thing of the past. Why do we have to go through hard times and the solution is within us?
Who is Nchamba Mbethi, the author of the post you just read?
He is the chief of staff to the governor.
Let's go back to 181 where the same Nchamba Mbethi is again conversing with the governor in this group. What does Nchamba Mbethi say?
He says, Blessed weekend, Our Excellency, we have beheaded you 101%. Anyone trying to fight you is fighting us and becomes our enemy immediately.
In your understanding, sir, would a junior officer, and we've asked this question a million times because it's important, would a junior officer be posting these things without the blessing of the governor?
Of course not.
Especially when that junior officer is the governor's own chief of staff?
It is not expected.
So, Bwana Kawira, let's go to 194. What does the governor say in that page?
She states that Ian Ujinga, sponsored by DG, I'm issuing last warning. I don't entertain useless threats. My 15 years in politics have never seen such childishness and ukumbafu.
The next message.
Walinipea 6K, the entire constituency, and DG kituo yake, I was the last. Wanaongea nini sasa?
The next.
You want to eat what you never labored for. It's a curse.
Next.
Sunday was from Imenti, Tony from Imenti, Jordan from Imenti, and many others. Mbona sikusikia community issue, kuweka jina kwa ballot ni kazi. Watu wanatumiwa vibaya na hata wenye wanakutumia vibaya hawawezi kukupea even elected MCA.
We could go on and on, Kawira. I think the point is made. Mr. Speaker, I request we play a video in which Nchamba Mbethi is seen on television saying some things about the DG. I believe it is video number 3A in support of count 3. The translation of that video is in page 447, Mr. Speaker, or volume 2.
Gintu kiria mutuma kuthithia gintu kiria ntenda kuga kinya no tuimbije baitene thairwa iri national keri na toba bingi nationally mutuma ga kumira thani ira kurira bwana Peter.
It can be paused, Mr. Speaker, so that I ask the question. On the screen, which TV station is airing this show?
It's Vita TV.
Is that a TV station associated with the governor?
Yes, it is owned by our proxies.
Does Nchamba Mbithi in that clip confirm that this TV has national viewership?
Yes, he confirms.
He confirms it's a national television?
Yes.
Who is Nchamba Mbithi in that video?
The Chief of Staff to the Governor.
Which side is he from the video?
Sorry?
Perhaps the video can be run so that I ask the question. It can be rerun. I want you to identify to Mr. Speaker who is Nchamba Mbithi in this video.
Ntenda kuga kinya no tuimbije baitene thairwa iri national keri na toba bingi nationally mutuma ga kumira thani ira kurira bwana
Peter. It can be paused. That's the Chief of Staff on national television, and the transcript is at page 447. In summary, sir, what was Nchamba Mbithi saying on national television about the deputy governor?
In translation, he says, what Mutuma is doing is something I would not want to say here because I know Baita TV as a national audience. Mutuma is defecating on the plate from which he feeds. And Mutuma here is in reference to the deputy governor.
Can you confirm this show happened after the previous impeachment motion, which had a count on unnecessary aggression and vilification of other leaders?
I confirm.
Let's play video number 3B, Mr. Speaker. It's a fairly long video, but we'll crave your leave to play it, Mr. Speaker, because it helps the Senate understand whether indeed the governor is this meek, humble person who is the foremost peacemaker. And if you permit, I can put some of the questions as it plays, Mr. Speaker. We on count 3, Mr. Speaker.
So they can pause and then you proceed to put the question.
Maybe it can be reversed a little. The transcript of this video is at pages 251 to 252 of our volume 2. Who is the person dancing behind the guy with the guitar?
She's the governor of Meru, Her Excellency Governor Kawira Mongaza.
And who is the person playing the guitar?
That is the first gentleman of Meru County government, or simply the spouse to the governor of Meru County.
So, Mr. Speaker, now the volume can be increased so that you hear the lyrics. Then I can put my next series of questions. The volume is low, Mr. Speaker. We might not hear the lyrics. From that screen, Mr. Kawira, where is this rally being held?
At Kiotine.
Where is Kiotine?
Kiotine is in Igembe.
Is that near the DG's home?
Yes, near Maua.
When was this event held?
On the 28th of August, 2023.
Is that before or after the procession the governor is offering to explain our belligerence towards the deputy governor and other leaders?
Before.
It was before.
Yes.
So does that explanation of us and the video was shown earlier on offer a valid answer to the charge for vilifying other leaders in the DG?
It does.
Who are these people described in that song as wenye wivu?
There is the DG and other elected and other leaders from Meru County.
Does that musical performance talk about the previous impeachment proceedings, the lyrics?
It does.
Those lyrics, do they show a person who learned anything from the previous impeachment?
I can state that it doesn't.
Do they show a recalcitrant or a repentant person as far as the previous impeachment is concerned?
It doesn't.
Do the lyrics accuse other leaders of plotting to kill Governor Kawira Mwangaza?
They do.
Would you expect this to be a potential breach of the peace when other leaders are being accused of plotting to kill the governor?
Of course, yes.
To the best of your knowledge, has the governor ever reported any threats to her life in any police station?
I'm not aware of any.
Do those lyrics say that the other leaders want Kawira to assist them to embezzle public funds?
They do.
Is that a fair allegation to make of other elected leaders without good basis?
It isn't fair.
Does that video say that the other elected leaders don't want Kawira to assist the weak and vulnerable, described as Wanyonge in the lyrics?
They state so.
Please confirm that this musical performance is happening in an Okole rally.
It is, I confirm.
The branding clearly indicates.
Yes.
Does the governor appear dancing to that music and even gesticulating wenye wivu wa jinyonge with fingers showing how the other leaders should be beheaded or behead themselves?
Yes, she does enjoy and dance to the music and also demonstrate how the Wanyawivu should nyonga themselves.
In your view, sir, can the governor honestly and in good conscience dissociate herself from this musical performance because they were utterances of her spouse?
She can't.
Should governors be allowed to vilify other leaders this way through their spouses so that if they ask, they say, it wasn't me, it was someone else?
They shouldn't.
Do the lyrics describe the other elected leaders as having shetani or demons? Did we hear from the lyrics the other leaders being described as having shetani?
Yes, we had.
Is this video, sir, consistent with the narrative of foremost peacemaker in Meru County?
It is
who can't hurt a fly. She is the victim of some scheming, to use our own word, some scheming by the DG to take power through the back door.
It is inconsistent.
Does this video accuse other leaders of wanting to embezzle money meant for building roads in Meru?
It does.
Bwana Kawira, do you know any reason, and you're on oath, that would entitle the governor to hold this type of music performance?
Sorry, come again?
Do you know any justification the governor would have for vilifying other leaders in the manner we have seen in that musical performance?
I wouldn't know why the governor would go to that extent of vilifying and inciting the public against other leaders from Meru County.
The crowds we saw in that video, is it a small or big crowd?
It's a big crowd.
To the best of your knowledge, how often does the governor hold such rallies?
They are held almost every Sunday. Almost every Sunday, that is in the disguise of helping the needy. But I can confirm those rallies are held generally to vilify, demean, and incite the public against other leaders in Meru.
Mr. Speaker, I request we play video number 3C in support of count number 3. The transcript of video number 3C, which we're about to play, is at page 448 of volume 2. No, we don't have a transcript. This one is in Swahili, Mr. Speaker, so it doesn't require a transcript because Swahili is our official language, or other national language. Let's play the video.
Na tunasema hivi tukiwa na mahasras wenzangu ya kwamba Meru County haitatekwa nyara na makatero 10 ambao wanafikiria Meru County. Watu 10 viongozi ambao wanalipa mshahara wa 1 million ama 500 and above hawawezi kumake decision ya kwamba Meru iko katika shimo, whereas we know shida yao ni yao wenyewe binafsi, tumbo zao. Tunakuomba ufungue Meru siku ya leo, Mheshimiwa Rais. Na kuna watu hawajakubali gavana ni mama. Kuna watu hawajakubali gavana ni mama. Kama vile kuna watu huko juu ambao hawajakubali rais wetu alishaguliwa. Hawaamini ya kwamba mtoto ambaye alikuwa anatengeneza makuku ama a simple person ambaye alitoka vijijini anaweza kuwa rais. Na wanamsumbua kwa sababu bado hawajaamini kama president wetu Ruto ni rais pamoja na naibu wake. Hivyo ndivyo ilivyo Meru. Kuna matajiri na viongozi wachache ambao hawajaamini ya kwamba walipoteza katika kura ambazo zilipita. Ni vizuri wajipange na waelewe ya kwamba Meru iko na kiongozi, na kiongozi ni gavana ni. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais, nachukua hii nafasi.
Mr. Kawira, to the best of your knowledge, what occasion was this when these utterances were made?
This was a prayer rally attended by the President of the Republic and the Deputy in Lare, that is in Igembe North.
To the best of your knowledge, why did the President and the Deputy organize this trip to Meru?
Sorry?
Would you know the motivation why the President and the Deputy traveled to Meru for this function?
It was a Thanksgiving prayer rally, and also to come and also try to reconcile the leaders of Meru, especially the governor and the deputy governor.
Did this occasion occur before or after the previous impeachment?
After the previous impeachment process.
And that's why the deputy president and the president spearheaded the reconciliation effort, isn't it?
Yes, I can confirm.
So you're confirming the problem in Meru has been addressed to the Council of Governors, to the Senate, all those people you counted, and not even the president himself.
I confirm.
Has that, all these interventions, have they restored sanity in Meru County?
They have not. We have stagnated at one point.
Do you expect speakers in a presidential function to speak in a dignified way about other leaders?
Yes, it is expected.
Did we hear the governor talk about Katel Kumi in this presidential function?
She did.
In the understanding of the ordinary Meru citizen, who are the people she was calling Katel Kumi?
The elected members of parliament and the woman representative of Meru.
Did you hear call these people before the President of the Republic, Makatel?
She did, and stated that it's people who earn 500,000 and above, and also to 1 million Kenya shillings.
Did she also say these are people who only care about their stomachs?
Yes, she did.
Would those be utterances that connote a governor that is peace-loving, that has learned from the previous impeachment process, and is just a victim?
They shouldn't.
Let's play video number 3C, or rather 3D, Mr. Speaker. And as I seek your...
Council, just to remind you.
Yes.
That you have 1 hour to go, and bear in mind you have more witnesses to call. The time that is utilized by the senators, that cannot be part of the 4 hours. So out of the 4 hours so far, you have 1 hour to go.
Mr. Speaker, does that include the time taken by my counterparts to cross-examine my witnesses? Because they took actually more time cross-examining the other witness than we.
Well, that's still within your 4 hours, just like you will be doing when their time comes.
I'll try to do my best, Mr. Speaker, but I also crave for your indulgence. It is because of my consciousness as to time that I'm taking more time with these witnesses, just in case I'm not able to call all the 6. Let's play video number 3D, and Mr. Speaker, I know we expunge. This is the video that inspired the allegory that was misunderstood. The transcript of this video is at page 448 to 449 of volume 2. Let's proceed.
Tusema na ili yabo kienine Bwana asifiwe. Na ndi nyambo kama tio kabuyo kama utaneze. Kama tako impeachment ya vivi hapa. Wewe bia dizerie. Ta kama aliganiria kwamba mbantu kwera bonchuria la kalivale. Banchuria ndale la medo bijathira. Mukama tio kabuyo akamba mbaka kobia umaleta. Pena kiangala kengine kwa kaide kama koroga Mulungu abalinga 20-0 na ndiba okanebeje tuekuja tuteku aike rere ndare akobia kakana patato makiria ndo indi na thirikari wewe batwera na tulienda 2027 ngugechia mtu chiarie.
Mr. Mawere, what is the governor talking about in that video?
The previous impeachment process.
What is she saying about the previous impeachment process?
That there is nothing that was done to her even after the county assembly impeached her and took her to the Senate.
That nothing happened to her even after?
She was impeached by the county assembly and brought to the Senate. Nothing happened to her, or nothing was done to her.
So, Mr. Speaker, that's how my allegory was born, but we can see the last video, 3E.
Vimenti kana no taro na ro taro utai kana sema nyunwe tano mkobu ndingete mechema nyo that the 6 ndene sa vimenti na go ya daga antora kama na u weja kando kama bonginye de bejo bejone koera musama jera diga kenda tukuru ndela wabare pai kumera kwa kwa ndingete sai otora nyo sai keba Dioro katore ana ipete tenge mawira no mbera karugule ndo gasendereka kwawe inabari kuna speed ya masinesi ya 400 mekera gitage ko speed ya 20 ukaja kulegenya masinesi njaro na kiragita kila tueta kenda ale mpatu kimbeje bantu ya watu rampao ukabeka ninja meniwe gatueka na mimi inao gera tueka na gera tueka lakini kaenda kabati Bwana asifiwe. Tutaweka ninja kiragita na masinesi speed hiyo mwanya mmo na yeye tueka no mwaka sauti ikaibwa sauti iko halia na hiyo ukubwa tena bakabuki ba na ina ungere ntuko yegeto lealea
We can pause it in the interest of time, Mr. Speaker, now that I'm guided by your... Mr. Mawira, what was the governor doing as per this video?
She was vilifying the elected member of parliament for South Imenti, as well as other members of parliament from Meru.
To your best of your knowledge, sir, is there any overlap between the duties of governor and those of MPs and the senator so that the governor is constantly inciting the public against? Is there any conflict of duty or interest? Don't they have very different duties?
They are very different and well stipulated, clearly stipulated for every office order.
As a matter of fact, where is the main workstation of the 9 MPs of Meru? Is it in Meru or here at the Parliament buildings?
It's here at the Parliament buildings in Nairobi.
Do you know any reason why a member of Parliament in Meru, while doing their duties, say in this chamber or the other one, will suddenly hear that the governor is saying nasty things about them in some rally in Meru?
Sorry?
Do you know any reason why the governor will be vilifying a person who is based in Nairobi and while they are doing their duty in Nairobi?
No, I'm not aware.
Paragraph 16A, count 4, you accused the governor of appointing Kenneth Moetiriongo as a chief officer without the approval of the county assembly. Did you make such an accusation, sir?
Yes.
Have you provided any evidence for it?
Yes, the evidence is in pages 271, 296, 295 to 296, 297, 299, and 301 of volume 2.
Let's go to 271. 296. The document begins at 295. Where does this document at 295 say it emanates from?
Office of the Governor.
Office of the Governor. And on the next page, do we have the appointment of this officer, Kenneth Moetiriongo?
Yes, paragraph 12.
Paragraph 12. Does that confirm he was appointed as a chief officer?
Yes, it does.
Is he appointed as a substantive or an acting chief officer?
Sorry?
Based on that document, is that an acting or substantive appointment?
It's substantive since it's not stated that he is acting.
Do such appointments require the approval of the county assembly?
Yes, as it is required by the law.
To the best of your knowledge, has the governor placed any approval of the assembly for this officer?
None whatsoever.
Let's go to 296, 297. What is the document there?
It's a document from the office of the clerk, addressed to the county secretary, that is Dr. Kiambi James Dambura Aderu, in the matter of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, the County Governments Act 2012, the County Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act 2017, and the County Assembly of Meru Standing Orders, and in the inquiry of the Sectoral Committee on Labor, Public Services, and Social Welfare, summons.
So, sir, have you provided sufficient evidence to show this person was appointed without county assembly approval?
Yes, I have.
Let's go to 16D, paragraph 16D of your impeachment motion. You accuse the governor of appointing unqualified persons, namely Kenneth Moitriongo, Edwin Mutuma Mrangeri, and Gitovun Kanata as chief officers without competitive recruitment and recommendation of the County Public Service Board. Have you provided any evidence to show this?
Yes, I have.
Let's go to, where is that evidence, sir?
The evidence is on pages 253 to 260, 295 to 296, 322, 325, 326, all the way to 327, 331, 332, 334, 335, and 386 to 389.
Let's go to the appointment of traffic marshals. Have you provided evidence of the appointment of these officers?
Yes, I have.
The governor responds by saying that this office was regularized. And she says it was a joke. That's our response in the county assembly, isn't it?
Yes, they did.
Have we seen her in a video? Mr. Speaker, we can play the video in support of count 4. It's a brief video. That's
Safari ya kuainisha mji wa Meru imeanza. Asante sana, asante. Na ofisi ya gavana. Kwa hivyo kazi kuu ya hizi pikipiki ambazo zitakuwa kila macho. Kazi kubwa ni kusaidia mji wetu wa Meru, mji wa Kwebo, mji wa Maua, kutoa msongamano wa magari.
Do we see in that video, sir, the governor flagging off traffic marshals?
Yes, it's seen in the video.
Whose duty is it to establish this office?
It's the duty of the County Public Service Board to create offices under the county government's structure.
Now let's go to page 392 of volume 2. What did the County Public Service Board say about the existence of this office?
In a letter addressed to the clerk of the county assembly, in relation to the inquiry, the board or the secretary or the CEO of the Meru County Public Service Board states that the board has not employed any traffic marshals in the county public service.
But on the ground in Meru, Mr. Kawira, why was this a problem so that the assembly got seized of it? What were the so-called traffic marshals doing that became of concern to the assembly?
After they were flagged off by the governor, they went around Meru town, arresting offenders and charging them fines irregularly. And there was a petition to the assembly in complaining about the creation of the office of the traffic marshals irregular.
So in summary, sir, other than the video and the document I've shown, What other pages can you refer the Senate to prove this count?
We have pages 394, 398, 409 to 412, 413.
You have, in paragraph 16G, accused the governor of having a bloated workforce. Have you provided evidence of this?
Yes, on pages 282 to 283, 309, 345 to 352, 353, 357, 359 to 362, and 362 to 382.
Let's go to page 361 to 362 and speak about a particular cadre of staff in the governor's office. How many cleaners are shown there?
That is from number 73 to 93, that is roughly 20.
Page number 73 to?
Entry number 73 to entry number 90. To entry on the next page, to entry number 111.
How many cleaners are those? Would I be right to say there are 38?
Yes, they are.
Let's see how some of these officers, styled as cleaners, how they are described on the payroll. Let's pick the officer number 111, Jamal Bundi. He has been described as a cleaner in the recruitment. Now let's go to page 379 and see his payslip. What is his designation?
He is recruited as a cleaner, but his designation is senior support staff.
So the payslip is that of a senior support staff?
Yes.
But the appointment is that of a cleaner?
Yes.
Let's pick another one. At page 381, at the bottom, what is the name of the officer?
Mr. Godfrey Mwenda Mireti.
So this gentleman was also recruited as a cleaner, but his payslip is for what cadre?
Senior support staff.
That officer is number 103, Mr. Speaker, on page 362. Page 382, the officer there is named. There are actually two of them. I'll show him.
Miss Faith Kendi Kidinji and Miss Glory Kinya Kinoti.
Would you consider it irregular for officers to be hired as cleaners, then paid on the pay grade of senior support staff?
Sorry?
Is it an irregularity to employ persons as cleaners, then on the payroll, pay them as senior support staff?
Yes, it is an illegality.
Would you know why this irregularity has been taking place in Meru?
I believe it is for the governor to reward our cronies.
To reward our cronies?
Yes.
Let's go to count number 6. Naming a public road after her husband. Do you have any evidence of this?
Yes, I have.
Have you provided any evidence, sir, to support count 7?
Yes, on pages 442 to 443 of our volume 2.
Count number 21B, contemptuous letter to the Assembly in response to lawful summons. Do you have any evidence?
Yes, on page 301. Sorry, 311.
Open 445, the letter by each number. I want us to see the letter that is said to be contemptuous. You earlier on told us that governors and the CECs are obliged to supply documents to the Assembly, right?
Yes.
And to honor lawful summons.
Yes, they should.
This letter at page 444 is indicated as emanating from what office? Page 444.
Office of the Governor.
And who is the author at page 445?
The Chief of Staff, stroke Governor's private secretary.
Read for us the last paragraph of that letter.
Parents, we hope the above settles the issue, and if you find the urge to summon the Governor to appear before the committee is irresistible, we will respectively urge the Assembly to move to court for constitutional interpretation in view of the foregoing.
The Assembly is being told if it finds the urge to invite the Governor irresistible. Is that how a Chief of Staff should be responding to lawful summons and requests for documents from the Assembly?
No, it is not.
I want us now to check the responses filed by the Governor. So hold the Governor's response. Governor Kawira says some of the charges before the Senate were in previous impeachment motions. To the best of your knowledge, does the law permit the County Assembly to reintroduce previous charges?
Yes, according to Section 33 of the County Governments Act, it's allowed after 3 months.
If a governor persists in the very conduct that triggered the first impeachment, can the County Assembly be faulted for bringing a second, third, or even 10th if the misconduct does not cease?
No, it can't.
The governor has talked about a cast, or rather a traditional oathing ritual at paragraph 6 of our response, administered by the Jurincheke to compel the Assembly to impeach her. To the best of your knowledge, sir, was there any traditional oathing ritual administered at the Jurincheke shrine as alleged by the governor?
No, because I was at that event, and it was a tree planting occasion led by the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, and also the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture was present.
So this was a tree planting event. Was
Yes.
it a Jurincheke event?
Of course not. It was an event spearheaded by the Ministry of Environment.
As to the best of your knowledge, sir, does the Jurincheke administer oaths in the presence of non-members?
It doesn't, and I can attest to that because I'm a member of the Jurincheke.
Does the Jurincheke administer oaths in the presence of children?
No, because they are not members of the Cultural Association.
Were there children in this event alleged to have been an oathing ceremony?
They were present.
But Mr. Mawere, let's assume for argument's sake, the Jurincheke somehow got intermingled in this matter. would you expect the Jurincheke to be concerned if Meru is in a perpetual and apparently insoluble crisis?
They should, because it's a highly respected council of elders, and it has no problem, or it is not prohibited from indulging in matters that affect the great people of Meru.
The governor says all these things we alleged against are acts of other officials who should bear their own responsibility. What is your response to that?
Sorry?
The governor at paragraph 12 of our response tells the Senate that this litany of complaints you have against her relates to acts and omissions committed by other county officials. Are these other county officials in the governor's office?
Yes, they are.
Are some of them the governor's immediate siblings?
Yes, they are.
Do governors actually always act in person, or they act through junior officers?
They act through junior officers, of course, appointed by the governor, and others employed by the County Public Service Board.
So if governors in practice do most of their work through delegation to county officials, is it a valid defense to say it wasn't me?
It isn't a valid defense.
Do we have instances in our response where she relies on acts of county officials, but when it is not convenient, she says it wasn't me?
Yes, they are there.
Should she have it both ways? When it suits her, the acts of the county officials should be considered. When it doesn't suit her, they should not be considered.
She can't have it both ways.
Can a governor be heard to say that millions upon millions of county funds paid to our own sister, the secretary of our own chief of staff in our own office, that she somehow was aloof and shouldn't take responsibility for that?
The governor can't allude to that.
The governor says the MCAs have no issue with her at paragraphs 4, 1, 8, and 16, and that you and your colleagues are acting under internal, external influence and intimidation to facilitate a political scheme. Is that correct?
That is not true.
Is she the foremost peacemaker in Meru, as she says at paragraph 17 of her defense?
It has been illustrated she's not.
She says the public participation was a sham. Has she identified any specific shortfall of that public participation?
None.
She says she's been rated among the top 10 best performing governors in Kenya. What is your response?
I think that is a report that has just been produced the other day, and I believe it was tailor-made to suit this case, because previously we have seen other independent bodies also rate the governor, like the timely survey that ranked the governor position 40 out of 47 in Kenya. So there is a...
Did the governor disclose that she was relying on this survey produced just after the impeachment, that there was another survey also ranking her 40 out of 47?
No.
So she is happy to have the survey ranking her highly considered, but not the one ranking her in the bottom?
Yes, that is true.
But let's assume, for argument's sake, Mr. Kawira, that indeed the governor was rated, and validly so, as one of the best performing. Would that mean she didn't commit any of the acts she is accused of?
There is not evidence contrary to, or evidence to adduce that she has not committed any crime.
If those acts are impeachable, would they cease to be impeachable because she is the best performing governor?
No way.
Let's go to our specific responses. She says you have not adduced any evidence to support the count 1 on misappropriation and misuse of county funds. What is your response?
That is not true, because we have adduced evidence in our volume 2.
As a matter of fact, is there anything else in volume 2 other than evidence?
No, it's the Assembly's evidence.
She says Salesio Mutuma is misrepresenting and misreading the entries on the IFMIS report. To the best of your knowledge, did the governor produce any other IFMIS report other than the one before the Senate?
No.
As a matter of fact, in our defense, is the governor relying on that same IFMIS report?
She's relying on the same IFMIS extract.
Can she rely on the IFMIS report we have when it favors her, but disown it when it doesn't favor her?
Sorry?
Can she urge the Senate to accept the IFMIS report to the extent that it exonerates her, but to reject it to the extent that it shows wrongdoing on her part?
As long as it is the same report she's relying on, she can't.
She says she did not use her relatives to embezzle public funds. Did we take the Senate through millions upon millions of shillings taken by our relatives as prepayments?
Yes, we have already taken the Senate through that part of the evidence.
She says the matter is before EACC. I don't know, another matter is in court, another matter is in some other forum. To the best of your knowledge, sir, does the pendency of any complaint or inquiry preclude the county assembly or the Senate from impeaching a governor if they are persuaded that the governor has fallen short of the standard required under Chapter 6?
No, because the Assembly's oversight role doesn't depend or is not conditioned on what the ACC is doing, and also I believe the Senate's powers.
Would you consider the governor to be sufficiently proximate to all these persons who withdrew 78 million shillings from the county irregularly?
Yes, they are close, people who are very close to the governor.
Why do you say they are very close?
Some are relatives and the others work in an office that is under the office of the governor.
A governor who is unaware that the whole 78 million shillings has been siphoned from the county, would that strike you as a diligent governor?
No.
Would that strike you as a competent governor?
Of course not.
How many times does the secretary to the governor's chief of staff appear on the IFMIS report receiving prepayments contrary to PFM laws? How many times?
She appears 87 times.
87 times.
Yes.
And the total amount paid to her irregularly per that IFMIS, whose authenticity is not in issue, is how much?
21,868,944 shillings.
How many times does Lydia Nkatha appear? The one you say as an entanglement with the chief of staff?
8 times.
8 times. Does withdrawn how much?
3,606,400 shillings.
The governor has produced some vouchers and impressed, and indeed our answer is that these payments to our sister were impressed she takes on behalf of other people. Is that a valid defense according to your understanding of these documents?
It is not.
Are those impressed the governor has submitted, signed by the relevant officers?
They are not supported or signed by the relevant officers like the director of accounts and also the chief of finance. And also the examiner has not signed the relevant supporting document that she provided.
Even incomplete as they are, out of the 78 million, how much has the governor accounted for?
On average, 2 million.
2 million.
Yes.
Jane Karimikaithia, who we are told we misrepresent hospitality for hospital. First of all, does the motion misrepresent hospitality payments as payment for hospital supplies?
No, it does not.
As a matter of fact, does the impeachment motion mention hospital?
Nowhere does the impeachment motion mention hospital.
You are told you have accused, or you say Jane Karimikaivia is a relative of the governor. Is there any place we have said she is a relative of the governor?
Nowhere, the motion.
The same for Catherine, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's interrogate the defense of per diems and interests. Would that explain the 107 irregular payments, stalled prepayments on IFMIS?
It doesn't.
The vouchers and interests that the governor has produced, do they explain the big payments to our sister and other relatives, or they focus on the petty payments?
It doesn't, because I think they conveniently focus only on the small payments, and that account for only 2 million out of the 78 million that they have alleged to misappropriate.
As a matter of fact, sir, we are still interrogating whether these were impressed for per diem. Does the IFMIS report indicate payments that are per diems?
Sorry?
Are there specific payments indicated on the IFMIS as accommodation and domestic travel?
Yes, there are some.
Like on what pages?
Pages 17,
Yes.
21, 22, 27, 28 of our volume 2.
So if there are specific entries for per diems, can the governor be heard to say that the unexplained prepayments are also per diems when the system has a way of capturing per diems?
No, they can't.
To the best of your knowledge, can an officer hold more than one imprest at a time?
Of course not, because it is against the PFM regulations of 2015.
Which regulation in particular?
Regulation 93, 4B, and 8 of the Public Finance Management.
So if an officer cannot hold more than one imprest at a time, what do we make of situations where we see the governor's relatives receiving several prepayments on the same day? Wouldn't that mean they were holding several imprests on that day?
Yes, they were.
As a matter of fact, can we see on the IFMIS instances where the governor's relatives were paid 6 times on the same day, 8 times on the same day, 5 times on the same day?
Yes, and the evidence is on pages 17 to 29 of volume 2.
The imprest the governor has submitted, are they all accompanied by signing sheets?
Most of them are not.
Most of them are not.
Yes.
The claim that an officer receives imprest on behalf of an entire delegation, would it require each member to sign the signing sheet, even if one officer received the money in its entirety?
Yes, individually they should.
Has that been shown?
No.
Does the law permit use of imprest to make huge payments of money?
It doesn't allow.
As a matter of fact, imprest is confined to small payments that are done routinely and therefore cannot conveniently be paid through the ordinary payment system, isn't it?
That is true.
So would it then be a valid answer, given the law, on when imprest can be used? Would it be a valid answer to be told that 107 prepayments amounting to 78 million shillings were done by way of imprest that we have not even seen?
No, that would be abuse of interest.
Did the governor produce the imprest she has now produced before the Senate, before the County Assembly?
They blatantly refused to.
She blatantly refused.
Yeah.
You told us they are not signed. I want you to show us a few that are not signed by the validating officers. Please show the Senate.
Pages 93.
Mr. Speaker, we're referring to the governor's bundle.
Yes.
The one with the blue pages.
93. On that particular payment voucher for Rose Kenya, with
This
the
is a payment to the governor's sister, right?
Amounting to 25,400. The payment voucher has not been signed by the examiner. That is examination. The payment voucher has not been signed by the Director of Accounts or CEO Finance.
Let's go to the one, the payment voucher at page 108. Is it signed by the examiner?
No, it is not.
Who is it issued to?
Rose Kenya, the governor's sister.
Is it signed by the accounting officer?
No, it is not.
Let's go to the one at page 131. Who is it issued to?
The one that at page 108
Yes.
is only signed by the AIE holder, who is the COS, indicating the chief of staff.
Okay.
Yes.
And the one at page 131, who is it issued to?
Rose Kenya, the governor's sister.
Is it signed by the Director of Accounting or Chief Finance Officer?
No, it is not.
Let's go to the one at page 120. It shows voucher number 68458 was issued in the name of who?
Rose Kenya.
That voucher, according to the IFMIS extract at page 23 of our volume 2, to whom was the money paid?
It was paid to Kadure Rokaria Catherine.
Is that an irregularity where the governor's sister is the one who surrenders the purported imprest? But on IFMIS, the money is misrepresented as being paid to Catherine.
Yes, it is an irregularity.
Does this show why even people who are not the governor's relatives, the impeachment motion still accuses the governor?
Sorry?
Does this show the connection between the governor's relatives and other irregular payments to third parties?
Yes, it does.
Let's still stick to that payment to Catherine Rukaria. How much amount is indicated on IFMIS?
On the IFMIS extract, it is indicated
$107,500
shillings.
How about the one indicated on the governor's voucher for that payment? How much is indicated?
117,600.
There is a variance of over 10,000, isn't it?
Yes, there is.
Would this constitute fraudulent accounting?
Yes, it is.
Let's come to the specific embezzlement. Let's look at the acceptance of the imprest on page 282 on of the governor's volume. That is a signing sheet for a journey of how many days, sir?
2 days.
2 days. The cover letter is on the previous page, which is page?
281.
281. Who are the people going on this journey?
Her Excellency Bishop Kawira Mwangaza, the governor, Miriam Gwantai, the personal assistant, who is also the sister to the governor, Rose Kinya, a security officer to the governor, who is also sister to the governor, Kenneth Murangiri, a driver, indicated as a driver, and Moses Kubania, indicated as a...
Who is Kenneth Murangiri indicated there?
He is the brother to the governor.
So let's now hold the thought, Mr. Kawira. The journey is for 2 days. The signing sheet is for 2 days. Let's find whether the governor and our delegation went for 2 days at page 284. That's the work ticket for that is supporting that impressed. On that day of 7th February, sorry, where does it say the vehicle traveled to and from?
Traveled to Meru, from Meru to Nairobi and back.
Above it shows that vehicle was in Meru the previous day, isn't it?
Yes.
And after it shows it was also in Meru the following day, isn't it?
The following day on 8th, the vehicle was traveling from Meru to Lare, which is in Meru County, and back.
So if the governor and our relatives signed impress for 2 days for a one-day journey by their own documents, would that be embezzlement of county funds?
Yes, it is, since they were in Nairobi for they didn't spend even a night in Nairobi. They traveled to Nairobi and back, and then they claim facilitation for 2 days.
The governor, has she submitted any supporting document for these impressed and surrendered, such as an hotel booking?
Sorry?
Has she submitted supporting documents like hotel bookings?
None whatsoever.
Boarding passes?
None.
Receipts for vehicle fuel?
None.
Any other document that would be required to validate an imprest?
There is none.
Would that explain why our own officers have refused to validate those imprests?
Yes, it explains why.
Let's look at the work ticket number 824-574 at page 276 of the governor's bundle. What is the number, the serial number of that work ticket, sir?
824-547.
824?
574, sorry.
574. What is the dates, which month are the dates appearing on that work ticket on that page?
From 1st of January 2023.
Yes.
All the way to 22nd of January 2023.
Let's go to pages 118. Is the serial number the same as the one you've read?
Just a minute.
Page 118 of the governor's bundle.
Yes, the serial number is the same, 824-574.
That same work ticket also appears at page 129, right?
Yes, it does.
And both on pages 118 and 129, the dates are in February, right?
The one on pages 118 covers from 1st of February to 19th of February. The one on pages 129 also covers from 1st of February to 20th of February. And among the entries from, there is an entry on 16th, 18th and 19th. That is the one on page 129.
Yes, see the
And
one on page 129. The entries are?
Page 129, the entries are from 1st of February
Yes.
to 20th of February. But along the entries, there is a single day that has not been indicated, and that is, they have only indicated 16th of February.
Then jump to 18th,
They
right?
jump to 18th of February.
Then gone to 19th.
Yes,
Then gone to 20th.
yes.
And on the second page, it goes to?
On the second page, it goes
To what
back
date?
to 17th.
It goes back to 17th.
Yes.
Is that a natural chronology of events, or this is an exposed falsification of this document?
It is not. Maybe these are forged documents to try and support the irregularities.
So let's go to page 104 of the governor's document and hold it together with page 204. Can you confirm it is the same work ticket number 824574?
Just a minute.
We are requesting, Mr. Speaker, you hold on the governor's bundle pages 104 together with 204.
Pages 104, the serial number is that 824-574.
It is the same work ticket.
Yes.
And the dates are in which month?
The dates on the work ticket on pages 204 start from 1st of March to 18th of March.
Let's now go to page 189 of the governor's bundle. Is it the same work ticket?
It's the same work ticket. with
And the
same
dates are
serial
in which
number.
month?
1st of April to 23rd of April.
So, Mr. Mawere, we have seen the same work ticket being given to the Senate in the answer to the charge for misappropriating county funds. Is it possible for a vehicle as busy as the governor's to use the same work ticket from January to February to March to end of April? Is that something the Senate should seriously believe?
The Senate should not believe that because considering how busy our governor is, they can't use the same work ticket for the whole month.
How many times, sir, and how many imprests have been justified using this single work ticket, number 824574? How many times has it been used to explain different imprests by the governor?
They are used 17 times.
It has been used 17 times.
Yes.
Can a single work ticket account for 17 different imprests
No, it can't.
running across 4 months?
It can't.
Can you tell the Senate very quickly the pages where you say it has been used 17 times? We don't have to go through each of them given the time.
On the governor's bundle, pages 104, 118, 129, 138, 150, 189, up to pages 327.
17 times.
Yes.
Let's look at the work ticket number 810977 at page 319 of the governor's bundle.
Page?
319.
Yes.
That work ticket has a column for signing by the authorizing officer, number and signature of person authorizing the journey. Is any of those journeys authorized?
None. None that is authorized.
Is it fair to postulate the reason it is not signed by the authorizing officer is because this document is not a genuine document.
Yes, it's true.
Who is the purported authorizing officer as per that page?
Kenneth Murangiri, who is the brother to the governor.
Mr. Speaker, can I beg and plead you give me at least 30 minutes? I said this is my most critical witness. I can live with the inability to call the others, but I crave, if you give me 30 minutes to an hour, I will be eternally grateful to you.
Are you therefore saying that if you're given 30 more minutes,
yes,
you'll conclude with this witness and forgo the others? Is that
I'm not saying
request?
that, Mr. Speaker. I'm just, and I know it's an impossible situation for everyone. Unfortunately, the rules only provide a single day where it is not humanly possible, a matter this serious, to address it within those times. I'll beg you, if I find favor with you, we can even push the hours and allow me to call at least one more or two more witnesses. I clearly can't call all the 6, given how the time is moving, but if you give me 30 minutes with this one and allow me to call at least 2 more, I'll be more than grateful.
How long do you intend to be with the remaining 2, the ones that you intend to call?
The others, you know, Mr. Speaker, this one is the main witness. The others will be speaking to very specific allegations. I don't see any of them taking, if you go by the time we took with the first witness, on our part, we took around 15 to 20 minutes with them. The only reason the session ran into an hour is because the cross-examination was longer, and we also took more sessions for interjections from the senators.
So if I give you half an hour to conclude with this witness,
yes,
and then I give you 20 minutes within which to conclude with your remaining 2 witnesses, will that be fair?
If you give me 2 for purposes of examination in chief for the other 2 witnesses, if you give me 20 minutes for purposes of exam in chief for each, it should be enough. But again, I can't take responsibility for how long the cross-examination for each of them might take.
Just speak for yourself. I'll come to the...
I'll take 20 for the other 2, 20 each.
Okay.
Yes.
So then the 4-hour time period given to you has terminated at 7:13. So I'm going to grant you the 30 minutes to conclude with this witness. We will deal with the governor's lawyer when he's on his feet.
Much obliged, Mr. Speaker. You have been told at paragraph 1.1.11 of the governor's response that there is no evidence linking Kenneth Guantai to misuse of county funds, and his name does not appear in the IFMI's extract. Is that defense of the governor consistent with the evidence on record?
No, because the evidence is there to see on pages 20, 22, and 24 of the IFMI's extract.
So who again is Kenneth Guantai?
Brother to the governor.
So when the governor says he doesn't appear on the IFMI's as receiving money and it's there in black and white, is that a serious defense?
It is not, since it is a misrepresentation of facts.
It is said that you, sir, you yourself of all people, made a Facebook post defending the governor that you now are asking the Senate to remove from office. What is your answer?
Yes, I did, but my support doesn't give the governor leeway to breach the law. And also, the support came in before I was seized of the facts before this Senate and the Assembly.
Did you have the benefit of this extract, Miss, at the time you made the Facebook post?
No.
Did you have the benefit of the documents down before the Senate when you made this Facebook post?
No.
This one we can skip. It is said, sir, that again you, the Speaker, and Honorable DMK made contributions to Okolea. You contributed 100 shillings, one of you gave a goat, and here you are complaining about Okolea. What is your response?
Even if it were true, it doesn't explain what county government vehicles were doing at an Okolea rally.
Let's begin. First of all, is it true? Did you contribute to that Okolea kitty? And did the Speaker and Honorable DMK make contributions to it?
I may not speak for the others, but I did.
You did?
Yes.
Would the fact that you made that contribution diminish the gravity of the offenses the governor is said to have committed in those rallies?
It doesn't in any way.
The governor says she has a video in which she gives a disclaimer that Okolea is separate from the official functions. Is that a valid answer to?
No, it is inconsistent with the evidence that you have adduced.
She tells you if county officials attended the Okolea rally, they did so in their private capacities as members of Baite Fellowship. Who runs this Baite Fellowship?
It's the governor of Meru and her spouse.
So the governor and her spouse run a fellowship which is attended by, she admits, county staff attends Okolea rallies. Is that a valid defense?
It is not valid.
Doesn't that defense actually confirm the involvement of county staff in Okolea operations contrary to promises made by this Senate less than a year ago?
Yes, it does.
The governor says she didn't misrepresent her relatives as a technical team. Does the evidence support her?
It does not.
Does the record say in black and white that they are designated as a technical team?
They were designated as a technical team and by none other than the county secretary of the government of Meru at the end of public service.
The governor says she did not make this China trip because the relatives she sent were an advance team who discovered the company was not linked to the Chinese government. To the best of your knowledge, did the governor seek any travel clearance?
No, she did not.
Is that consistent with the governor who actually intended to travel in the first place?
It is inconsistent because in the first place, the governor should have been in the letter or in the list that was sent to seek for clearance to travel.
She tells you no public funds were lost on the trip to China. What is your response?
Even though in whatever case, even there was no money that was lost, the county lost a great opportunity, considering that it is a high cancer, incidence cancer in Meru. The county lost a great opportunity to address that problem for the great people of Meru.
The governor draws
But
a
still,
account.
so it's public knowledge that whenever you travel, even if the cost of the trips are covered by the company, those who are traveling are paid a quota per diem.
Would you consider the loss of opportunity greater than perhaps even the loss of money,
Yes.
given the incidence of cancer in Meru?
Yes, I would.
You are told, Mr. Chair, I'll let my colleague exhaust the remaining bit. I've been studying for quite some time.
Honorable Speaker, my name is Boniface Mawera, and I will proceed with the examining chief. Mr. Mawera, turn with me to page 347 of the governor's bundle. Are you there? What letter do you see at page 347?
It's a letter from Office of the County Secretary in regards to deployment of NEFAT Kenya Meme.
Okay. Did the county secretary have the powers to appoint Nefat Kinyua as Director External Partnerships?
No, unless the powers were delegated by the County Public Service Board, which is not indicated.
Has the governor annexed any authority to show that these powers were delegated by the County Public Service Board?
None whatsoever.
Is this the same Nefat who was in the Chinese trip?
He is the same person.
And the brother-in-law to the governor?
Yes.
Okay. Turn with me to page 287 of our volume 2. I think it begins at page 284 of our volume 2. What document do you see there?
This is an advert from by the Office of the County Public Service Board.
In which office?
Office of the Governor.
So the advertisement is for recruitment in the Office of the Governor?
Yes.
Turn now to page, Honorable Speaker, you can turn with me to page 287. At page 287, you can see the advertisement for the recruitment of the Director External Affairs.
Yes.
Which job group?
Job group R.
Okay. The qualifications? The requirements for appointment, rather?
Served in a comparable and relevant position for a minimum period of 5 years.
Experience for 5 years, right?
Yes.
In a comparable and relevant position for 5 years?
Yes.
And a university degree and a Roman 2, B2?
Yes.
Okay. Then turn with me again to page 89. Of our volume 2, still volume 2. It begins at page 88. After that advertisement, the County Public Service Board shortlist, this is a short list for the officers in the Office of the Governor, correct?
Yes, it is.
And at page 89, we can see the persons who are shortlisted for the position of Director External Linkages.
Yes, they are indicated.
And the name of Nefat is not among those people.
It is not.
What is the date on page 88 of our bundle? What is the date of that shortlist?
It dated 6th September 2023.
6 September 2023. The letter we saw on the governor's bundle at page 347, I want you to clarify the date. When is it dated?
Just a moment. It's dated 9th March 2023.
9th March of 2023.
Yes.
And you've confirmed a moment ago that the county secretary did not have powers to appoint this director.
Yes, I confirm.
Is it your evidence that the county secretary in so doing was usurping the powers of the County Public Service Board?
Yes, they did.
Okay. at page 287 of our bundle, we have seen that the position, or rather the job for director, is job group R, correct?
Yes, it is.
Turn with me to page 343 of the governor's bundle. What document has the governor produced in that bundle?
It's a NOFA of appointment letter.
Who is it addressed to?
Effort Kinywa Meme.
In paragraph 1, what is the job group of Nefat Kenywa Meme?
He is employed in the position of pharmaceutical technologist, job group H.
So, Mr. Kawira, could a person who was employed in job group H be appointed to act as a director in job group R?
No, that is an illegality.
What is the possible explanation for this irregularity?
You are not supposed to be appointed to act in any position that you are not qualified to.
Would you say that the only reason why Nefat is clearly favored and he jumps from job group H to job group R is because he has a relationship with the governor's sister?
Yes, I can confirm.
Okay. Turn with me to page 384. 384. Honorable Speaker, you can turn with me to page 384 of our volume 2. We can begin at 295 and 296 of our volume 2. What document is at page 295 and 296?
Is a notice of redeployment from the office of the governor.
It is issued by which office?
Office of the governor.
Is it actually a redeployment or appointment of chief officers?
It's appointment.
And I remember you during your examination in chief by my last name, Mr. Modom, you said that for the appointment of chief officers, the County Public Service Board must be involved.
Yes, it must. And also,
it is actually the County Public Service Board that recommends the appointments to the governor.
It recommends and it also creates those offices.
It creates those officers, advertise, they recruit.
Yes.
And then they forward the names, or they submit the names to the office of the governor for formal appointments.
That is the procedure.
So could the governor purport through the county secretary, because at page 296, the letter is signed by the county secretary for the governor. Could the governor purport to appoint these chief officers without the involvement of the County Public Service Board?
No, that is illegal.
And as a County Public Service Board actually disowned those appointments?
Yes, they have.
Where is the evidence
The evidence is on page.
And then to 384 for purposes of, in the interest of time. 384 of our volume 2, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, the evidence is on page 384 on a letter addressed to the clerk of the county assembly.
Who has written that letter? In whose letterhead is it issued?
Office of the County Public Service Board and signed by the secretary or the CEO of the Meru County Public Service Board, with the CPA, Virginia Kawira.
At paragraph 4 of that letter, what does the board say, the County Public Service Board?
It states that the board is the appointing authority according to section 64 of the County Governments Act. The board, however, was not involved in the appointment of the acting chief officers as per the act.
So the board actually confirms that it was not involved in these appointments?
Yes.
Is that an irregularity?
It is an irregularity.
At page 295, I'll take you back to page 295 of our volume 2, Honorable Speaker. And specifically, the number 18 on page 296, the appointment of Kenneth Mwiti Riongo. Is he appointed to in an acting capacity or a substantive appointment?
It is a substantive appointment since it is not indicated if it's not indicated if it's in an acting capacity.
Would such a substantive appointment require the approval of the County Assembly?
It requires.
Was that approval obtained?
No.
And for argument's sake, Mr. Kawira, the governor said in a response that it is actually the county secretary is the one who made these appointments. As by law, the County Governments Act, can a county secretary appoint chief officers?
It's not possible, and even it's still contrary to what we have, because the letter is signed by the county secretary for Her Excellency the Governor.
For the governor?
Yes.
So could the governor lawfully, even if we are to assume that she delegated his authority, could the governor lawfully delegate the mandate to appoint chief officers to a county secretary?
The law does not allow that to envisage the same.
Is a statutory mandate to appoint chief officers not vested in the person of the governor?
It is.
Still on these 2 pages, page 295 and 296 of our volume 2, who is qualified? I want you to explain to the Honorable Speaker and to the Honorable Senators, who is qualified to act as a chief officer?
According to?
I'm asking from the persons who have been appointed here as chief officers. For example, you can turn to page 296, number 17. We see Gitobun Kanata to move from Meru Municipality to Department of Lands to perform the functions of chief officer. And my question to you is, can a person who is not a chief officer be appointed to act as a chief officer in another department?
No, because it requires vetting and approval by the County Assembly.
So it is your evidence that only a person who has been appointed, who is already a chief officer in the first place, can be appointed to act as a chief officer in another department?
Yes.
And by corollary, in the national government, only a PS can be appointed to act in another state department?
That is true.
So if you are not a chief officer in the first place, having been vetted and approved by the County Assembly, you cannot be appointed to act as a chief officer in another department?
That is true.
So what would you say then of the appointment of Kitobun Kanata at number 17?
It's an illegal appointment.
Number 15 of Christopher Mugunda?
It's also illegal.
Number 2, that is the nephew, Edwin Murangiri.
It's in contravention of the law.
Who is Edwin Murangiri at number 2, page 295?
The nephew to the spouse of the governor.
So, is it regular for a person who is already in another department, that is Meru Service, a semi-autonomous government agency, is it regular for them to move from a saga to the public service?
It's irregular.
And take over the role of acting chief officer?
It's irregular.
Okay. And from the governor's bundle, at page 348, turn with me to page 348. That is the appointment letter of Edwin Murangiri.
Yes, it is.
In 2017.
Yes.
And he was in job group K.
Yes.
So is it regular for a person in job group K, just as I've seen for NEFAT, for a person in job group H to jump the stairs or the ladder and to become a chief officer, which is the highest rank in the county public service? Is it regular?
No, it is not.
Okay.